What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
You did it.
I was really hoping I was going to time that.
You did it. You did it.
I love having all the fancy buttons around my screen now.
I know you can see everything.
Yeah. I'm not just a guest in the studio now, too.
No.
I'm a host.
Oh my god! I was like, why am I so dark?
Oh, you didn't turn on your light? Wow, that is so much better.
And it was fine when we had it on light mode, so that's why I didn't notice. So I was like, why am I so dark?
All of a sudden.
I can see.
Casey can see.
I can see clean.
All right. That's
all
where
right.
We're going to cut that episode, actually. That's it. It's a 45-second episode, shortest in record. And it ends with Casey singing.
Shortest podcast episode ever.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Underground Circuit. As always, my name is Owen. That is my sister, Casey. Thank you for joining us this week. We have a little bit of a shorter one, although it's a good one. We got some good news for you guys. And I mean that just from the sense of, like, the news is...
things that have happened.
Yeah. And then segment 2, we're doing History with Owen. It's making a comeback.
It's back.
It's back. That's a fun one. I had a lot of fun, like, diving into this topic.
I knew you would when I gave you that topic.
Yeah, I had to honestly, like, limit myself, too, because I was like, there's so much that I could write about, so I had to limit myself. Had to rework how I wanted to do it, but I got it. It works. And then we will follow it up and close this out with some F1Threads Mailbag, as always. But start us off. I'm losing my train of thought real bad. Start us off. We're going with Meme of the Week. I already saw Casey's. You can probably guess what both of ours is about.
Yeah.
But take us
based on the news,
Casey.
Based on the outfit that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Based on if you follow us on any of our social media from this week, you should all know what it is. So yes, my meme of the week is obviously in regard to Ferrari, but it's everyone's favorite Ferrari fan, Guido and Luigi. As you all know, they do like to make an appearance when we have live shows, Guido and Luigi. So we know that they are very, very happy with this not even past week, the past 2 days worth of content and news coming out of Ferrari. It's just, it's historical. But yeah, so this was... I want to post Guido and Luigi because I've thought about them this week because I know they would be freaking out.
Yeah, they'd be thrilled. They'd be so happy.
Yeah, they'd be freaking out. But yes, that's my meme of the week.
I want to touch on this. Actually, we can jump into my meme because it kind of segues into what I want to say too about this news.
So let me show yours.
Yeah, can you show mine? So you can't see the title on this, but it's called Spain Without the S. And it's a photo of Carlos Sainz sitting in his plane looking at his phone, and he's looking at the picture of Lewis in his, like, all-black outfit with the Ferrari behind him in Maranello.
In front of Enzo Ferrari's house.
Yeah. It's awesome, and I think Carlos kind of speaks for everybody in the sense of, like, he's going through pain with this. But seeing these photos come out now with Lewis at Ferrari and everything, and seeing this come to fruition, something that we talked about this time last
year.
You know, like, that was when that first broke, or it was this time last year. It's insane. It's a very wild thing. So yeah. Seeing it physically now is something that is blowing my mind. Yeah.
No, this was I said to someone today on Threads, I was like, the wait was worth it. Like, the wait, getting this news last year on February 1st, and then waiting almost the whole entire year was totally worth it. Totally worth it. But yeah, we'll get into him more, because obviously that's a big part of our weekly news topic, is talking about everything that's been happening at Ferrari this week. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But that was Meme of the Week. Next up, like I just said, weekly news, as
Weekly
always, brought to you
news.
by IPF1Store.com. Use the code underground10. Spelling is much easier. It's literally on the logo at the top of the
Yep.
screen, down at the
It is
bottom.
the name of our show.
Yeah, it's now the name how we spell underground for the show. Underground10 to get 10% off your entire purchase. Like we said every week, some sick pieces of art. So
Yeah.
check it out.
Can't wait too for the Lewis Ferrari art that's gonna come out, because there's gonna be at least one race where he does a Lewis Ferrari piece, and it's gonna be so good.
But yes, weekly news. Before we get into the Lewis news, this piece of news broke this morning. It's really kind of a slow news week since we recorded. But that's okay, because I said this to Mom on the way here. She was like, do you have something to talk about? I said, yeah, but it'll probably be a shorter episode. I was like, well, that's okay, because the longer episodes are coming back quickly. So
very, very quickly. They're coming back.
Very quickly. So we'll be okay with a short episode for this week. This news broke this morning. They announced two Esteban Ocon's Esteban Ocon's new team race engineer. Jesus Christ.
Spit it out.
Race engineer. And I brought up an article, but now it's not the article that I thought. His race engineer is the first female race engineer in F1, which is an insane feat.
It's so cool.
I think there was inklings of this because she was being his race engineer during the postseason testing that he had in Abu Dhabi. But his race engineer is Laura Mueller, if that's how you pronounce her name. But yeah, this makes her the first full-time female race engineer in modern Formula One, which obviously sick. Yeah. So someone today posted female race engineer, a competent team principal, and probably an okay car at Haas. Like, we might see a different Esteban Ocon, and I'm kind of here for it.
It feels like the start of something like new for SD, and it sure is definitely very exciting.
I feel like it was like when Pierre announced that he was going to Alpine, everyone's like, finally he's free from the Red Bull family. Esteban is free from the Alpine, the Renault family that he's been stuck in forever. So I'm excited for the fresh start. But yeah, I'm excited to see him and Laura Mueller work together. So there's been some, it was very exciting news to wake up to that. I literally woke up to that one this morning.
It's awesome news. And you love to see it too, just with bringing more diversity and inclusivity into the sport, and in more prominent positions too. It's not just like, oh, we have a few female members like on our crew or stuff like that. Like, no, she is like one of the top roles on the team, race engineer. Like, it's
and we're gonna hear her on the radio each race weekend. Like,
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So F1 posted a nice little carousel image for her, talking about how it's one of the most senior trackside roles for a team. The main link between the driver and the team, both on track radio throughout radio communications. But it says she earned a promotion from her role as performance engineer. Mueller becomes the first female to take on a high-profile position of a full-time race engineer. She joined Haas in 2022. She was working in the simulator department, and then now, like we said, being the race engineer for Esteban Ocon. So great news from Haas.
Great news.
I'm excited to see what they're doing. But yeah, I think they just had some testing too, where they were just in the car last week, him and Ollie, because Esteban or Ollie posted on Threads, like, because you see how Williams, you could go onto their website and vote for what Albon and Carlos, like, their team name would be. So there was like Carlos for Charles and Carlos, so they did that for Williams, and then I think Esteban or Ollie like posted one and was like, they put Beer Con, so it'd be like Bear and then Con.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that one. But yes, that was the first piece of weekly news this morning. Second piece of weekly news. This now goes into our Lewis Hamilton segue of the rest of the weekly news, because that's all I'll talk about the rest of the weekly news. The rest of the weekly news. Angela Cullen is coming back to work with Lewis. It was announced today that she is signing on up with a part of his Project 44 team, our company, and we'll be there to help with obviously back. It says other business interests, but also as a team physio for him. So yeah, she's coming back, which it was a very weird when like she left halfway through this, not even halfway through the season last year. Like it was only a few races.
It was.
And
I mean, we were maybe 5 races in, and she left.
Yeah, it was very alarming because then she was working with Marcus Armstrong, who's an IndyCar driver and was at a bunch of IndyCar races last year and stuff. But now she's back with Lewis. I mean, they're just a dynamic duo, the two of them. So
her coming back, now that Lewis is with Ferrari and everything, makes me think it was more of a Mercedes force.
that's exactly what a lot of people were saying today. They're like, how bad was it at Mercedes?
Yeah.
Like, did Lewis literally say, take this time, take a break?
Right.
Like, it's not we can make it work. Like, it's not worth it for you to not be around your family for this long of the year when it's going to be this bad.
Right. Like
it really makes me think something was messed up over there.
Right. And it's like how fast it was since Lewis has officially been a Ferrari driver. It's been what, 2 days? Not even.
Well, there was like last week, did you see the video of Lewis snowboarding with Shaun White, like off-roading? Like they were getting out of the helicopter and going down like a rough side of the mountain. So she posted on Instagram. The Instagram has since been deactivated, but Angela Cullen posted a picture on Instagram. She was somewhere skiing, and there was like one of the mile markers or something in the background was a red circle with the number 44. So people are like, what the hell does that mean?
I love it. Give us all the cryptic messages.
Yeah, so people don't know if that was just a coincidence or was that her subtle way of being like, yeah, I'm coming back.
Bitches.
Yeah. So yes, she's back. So exciting. Someone said the discourse about how she's always carrying her bags will be back. And then she was like, there's no one happier than Roscoe that she's coming back, because there's been those videos of her carrying Roscoe down the spiral staircase in Mercedes hospitality. So yeah, she's back. Happy to have her back. She's
very good news.
I mean, she's been with him for forever. So
right, that's the thing that made it weirder when she split, was how long they've been together. And then it was, again, the timing is too coincidental, where it's, I'm leaving Mercedes, and then all of a sudden it's, Lewis and Angela are parting ways, and it's like, well, are they? Like,
well, so the F1 article goes into some detail saying she will form part of the 40-year-olds, which is wild that Lewis is 40 years old.
That's wild. What the hell?
That's disgusting. Like, he does not look old at all. That's insane.
That man looks too good to be 40 years old.
No, he looks so good. She will form part of the 40-year-olds performance team overseen by Marcus Hines, who resumed his partnership with Hamilton last year, having previously worked with the former Mercedes driver between 2016 and 2021. So yeah, a
lot of some familiar faces coming back for Lewis. Yeah,
when he was in his prime.
Yeah,
like a lot of puzzle pieces are falling together. Yeah.
Oh no, this is just
yeah.
Really just doubling down on my take of Ferrari World Constructors Champions this year.
And then the F1 article also has a quote from Lewis from 2020 saying that people for sure won't understand it naturally because I see it from a distance, but she has been one of the greatest things that has happened to me in my life. I've been fortunate to work with a lot of people, and she's been the single hardest working woman I've got to be around. So yeah, I don't like.
Oh my God, come on.
There was, because I think a lot of people last year when she like up and left very quickly.
Yeah.
People were like, something happened between the two of them. Like what
happened? Yeah.
What happened? Like why? Like people were scared their relationship was going to be affected, but I'm thinking it was Mercedes.
No,
I would not be surprised.
Like a Mercedes thing.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if it was Mercedes. So
yeah,
if it was Toto. But yeah, that was the first half of the Lewis weekly news. Now the rest is not really weekly news. It's kind of just a recap of the past 2 days with Lewis making his first official appearance at Ferrari.
as a Ferrari driver.
As a Ferrari driver, yeah. As a Ferrari
So
driver.
fucking weird. It's so weird.
It's so Dad on the way home was like, if I would see one more post from you about Lewis, I said, this is like Tom Brady leaving the Patriots and going to the Buccaneers.
It's a huge moment.
It's huge. Like I can't even explain it in like another. Like if you're hockey fans, I guess like for us, it's like if Sidney Crosby left the Pittsburgh Penguins and went to the Philadelphia Flyers. Like that's something you don't think's ever going to happen, and now it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, with like we just said, he looks too young, but with Lewis's age and how much history he has had at Mercedes, it felt like he was going to be ending his career there. You know, that he would just they would hold on to him as long as he can, just because he's Lewis Hamilton. And then all of a sudden it's, breaking news, Lewis is going to Ferrari. And it's like, holy shit. Like,
I'll never forget where I was when that news broke. I'll never forget it. I was at work, but I'll never forget it.
That's a wild moment. That's a wild news story to break. That's a news story you hear months in advance. And you hear it as like some rumor, and you're like, there's no fucking way.
Especially the past 2 years with F1 news and rumors and stuff. Everyone's like, it's the worst kept secret in the world. That was the best kept secret.
That was the best
in
secret.
F1.
Yeah. The fact that we had no knowledge that was happening. The only tease that we got that it was happening was the journalist posting like the night before or something. Like, something's going to happen. Like, yeah. And then that was it. And then it was the next day. It was Lewis is officially a Ferrari driver. Like, and it's like, holy fuck! Like,
you just like think. Yeah, I remember. I'll never forget when the journalists are like posting like this time for us at night. Like it was 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
For us, so like it was super late, early in the morning for them, and they're posting cryptic messages. Like
yeah.
What's happening? But yes, so he officially arrived yesterday, rocking the sickest outfit of all time.
He looks so good.
Dressed in a full suit, head to toe. Someone found out like he was wearing all Italian designers. Part of his suit was Ferrari style, and then he was wearing some red bottom shoes, which the picture he posted today, walking towards the door of Enzo Ferrari's house, you can see the sole of the red bottom and it's just perfection.
That is oh my god, it's such a good picture, man.
Yeah, such a good picture. And the content coming from Ferrari, I mean, we talked about it kind of last week, how they've been executing their little teases of things so well, and then they posted the clock with the 1644, but it was changing from 43 to 44. One, I didn't realize this right away. So if you look at when the posts start, like when the video starts, the clock is at 16:43 and 55 seconds.
Oh, that's brutal. Don't do it to him, Ferrari.
I know.
Come on.
They did. I don't know if it was intentional, but they did. And then obviously it moves up to 16:44. And then I think it had like today's date, but yeah, just between that video and then yesterday at 10:44 in the morning for us, or 16:44 in Italy, they posted that video of him like just walking to the like I guess like the paddock area they have at the track at the factory, and then I said like I said hello Lewis in Italian on the sign, and that's all. Like I think they even just like kept like the natural audio, just a nice little video.
You know, Ferrari, it's becoming more and more clear that Ferrari's social media admin knows what they have, and they are fucking working it right now. I
said that to someone, say the exactly same thing. I said Ferrari's social media team did their research.
Yeah.
Knows their audience.
Knows that,
and knows that they have two of the top most marketable drivers on their team together. And they've elevated. We are gone from the days of the embarrassing, cringeworthy little thirst traps they used to make Charles do.
Yeah.
And we are in a new realm of
God, like imagine that like social media team meeting, that first one after that news breaks. Because I'm sure like none of them were privy to the news unless you're like really high up, right? Like coming in and sitting down and being like, listen, like Lewis Hamilton is gonna be a Ferrari driver. If he wasn't already, like, he's gonna be a Ferrari driver. we need to fucking like step it up, and make our content meet. You need to make the content match the status of Lewis.
Yes, you need to elevate it and match what Ferrari is. It's a luxury brand. This is what it should have been forever. Like, it should have been this caliber of content for the longest time. You're the most luxury brand on the grid. Like,
you are the car brand that 10-year-olds have postered on their wall because they're like, I want to own that car one day. That is,
that's like that quote from Charles. Like, when he was little and he would draw a car, he was drawing a red car. Like, that's all he knew. So yeah, it's just, they're killing it, absolutely killing it. Tomorrow, I think we'll get our first. I mean, Charles has been there the past 2 days as well. He was seen leaving yesterday, but he quietly snuck in yesterday, which, like, I do appreciate. Like,
spotlight.
He can't, and I don't know if he wasn't going to, but it was Lewis's day.
Yeah,
like he was fine, but then he was seen going in today, and leaving. But they both did sim work today, so tomorrow is the first day. Both the SF23 and SF75, I think, are ready for Lewis to drive specifically, but Charles should also be on track. So yeah, we should be getting our first look at Charles and Lewis together. We should get. I pray to God. I said, if I wake up to a picture, I will cry. If I wake up to the content and miss the content dropping live,
I cannot wait to see a Ferrari red car with the number 44 plastered on the side. That is. This is. God, this is still like. Go back 1 year.
It doesn't seem real.
And we're sitting here talking about, holy crap, Lewis is a Ferrari driver, blah, blah, blah. And then we had the whole year, we talked about this multiple times, where we're like, oh, I kind of forgot that he was going to be a Ferrari driver next year. Because it's like, last year was just filled with so much shit happening in it. And then it's like, you come to this, and it's like this, like euphoric moment where you're like, oh my God, like, this is happening. Like, this isn't a dream. That was not fake. When that news story came out and everything, I remember the day it came out, I was waiting until F1 posted it because I was like, I'm not trusting anybody else. Like, unless it's Ferrari or Formula One. Like,
you had like the Sky Sports people outside at like the Mercedes factory.
Yeah.
It was, like, people, it was like, I mean, it was national. It was international news. It was insane.
It's just,
it's wild.
The fact that we're seeing it, and the fact that we're in a calendar year where we're going to watch Lewis Hamilton race as a Ferrari driver is absurd.
If we get to Miami again, we get to see Lewis Hamilton drive a Ferrari. Last year, I didn't cry when we set foot on those grounds, but I think I might this year.
I think I'd be more starstruck this year if we went back than I was last year. And that was being my first time at any sort of motorsport event, and that was my first time at an F1 event. And I was like, I was speechless. I like couldn't figure out what to say. And if you're telling me that we would have a chance to see that man in a Ferrari live, like in person.
But yeah, so the picture that you had in your meme of him outside in front of Enzo Ferrari's house with like the F40, like an old school vintage Ferrari car. Did you see all the things with the picture? Like the subtle meaning behind it, maybe?
No.
There's 7 windows.
Oh, come on.
And 1 door.
Oh, come on.
No, he could have framed it any other way. I've seen that house has a ton of windows. But the way he framed it, the Ferrari's next to him. He's in front of Enzo Ferrari's house. There are 7 windows behind him. And a door that people were saying is like he framed it on purpose for a reason that way. On purpose. But it's so good. But then people were, I don't know if this is my meme, but I thought it was too mean. People were comparing that picture that Lewis posted out front of Enzo Ferrari's house to Carlos's selfie out front of the Williams factory. And someone said, Carlos, he's waiting to go into his community pool. or like a cafeteria.
That's messed up, man. Come on.
But I know, but it's just funny because like obviously the Ferrari factory and stuff is like a historical landmark to begin with. That's a Enzo Ferrari's house, but it's
Yeah,
just
come
people were
on.
like, yeah, people were so funny. They're like, it looks like he's going into like a gardening center, like a little garden.
Poor Carlos, man.
It's
Poor
like
Carlos.
the brown door behind them needs a touch, like a fresh coat of like blue paint or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got all that content yesterday. I love the video Ferrari posted today of him like meeting everyone. It was hilarious. First of all, him roasting that guy for wearing a Christmas sweater. He was like, "You're still wearing a Christmas
Yeah, what the
still?"
hell? Why was that? What the hell was that guy wearing?
Or the guy that was had earbuds in and he was so focused on his work he didn't even know Lewis was in the room. So Lewis came up behind him and like tapped him on the shoulder and was like, "Hello."
Hello, sir. My name is Lewis Hamilton. It's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, yeah. Yeah, the Christmas guy was weird. I was also like, what you know going into work that day that Lewis Hamilton's coming.
Coming.
Your first pick is to wear a Christmas sweater?
Be like you would hope like Andrew like, no, don't put that on.
Right.
Like change.
Look nicer.
Look a little nicer.
Yeah.
Maybe put on, you don't have to wear a full-on suit, but not wear a Christmas sweater. But yeah, I like that video. And then obviously we got the picture that might have broke the internet of him in the red race suit, leaning up against it's like that wall of lockers. I think I've seen other pictures in there. Obviously doing a fitting before he gets in the car tomorrow, but just seeing him in that again, like we've seen the Photoshop edits for the past year.
Yeah, but seeing it seeing the actual thing is like, oh, holy, like, again, like the only words I can think of just like, holy fuck, this is happening. Yeah. Like,
the moment I see it, it was, low-key, it definitely, I think everyone posted the photo in the span of 10 minutes, but.
As they should.
I know. But yeah, it was good. But someone brought up one of Toto's old quotes from that interview that he gave.
Okay.
Where your mind was blown, and says the thought of Lewis at Ferrari in red overalls, it wouldn't suit him. Toto. Shut up.
Suits him. It suits him. Absolutely suits him.
It suits him perfectly. That man can wear like a trash bag and look fine. So
I want to see how long it takes me scrolling on Threads before I find that photo. Didn't even fucking take me a scroll. Yeah. And you know whose post it is?
Fry?
Yours.
So ours.
Yes.
Also,
just looks so good. Come on.
No, he pulls it off. Toto can shut up. But yes, that was. Do you have anything else to add about Lewis at Ferrari?
No. Again, it's just like, holy hell, it's happening. You know. Yeah.
I wish they were broadcasting it, the running tomorrow on normal Sky, because like when Sky always geo-blocks everything. But like last year when the news broke, nothing was geo-blocked because I think they knew everyone was looking at them for news coverage. But Sky Italy is the one that got tomorrow. But I wish it was on normal Sky, or I wish F1 TV was.
I wonder if it's because it's Ferrari and how, I don't know, like how important Ferrari is to Ferrari culture, like Italian culture, that somehow. Like they wanted to limit it, but
yeah, but like even I think like they're like if they have I hit a video came up and it started playing. Like 2 years ago. Yeah, but for 2023 when they did their car launch, like Sky Italy was broadcasting it, but it was also on Ferrari's YouTube channel live.
Oh.
So I wish they were doing it that way. Like, it was still all the Sky people, like, within the broadcast. It was just also on their YouTube channel.
On their YouTube channel, yeah.
This is such major news that I think it should be broadcasted for everyone to see. Like, everyone's going to be watching it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll find clips somewhere. But that was the weekly news. As always. Moving on. As we said, History with Owen is coming back.
History with Owen. So you gave me this idea, Casey, for this segment. It's been 10 years. Obviously, it's 2025, since 2015. And Formula One posted a couple articles about key moments from the 2015 season, and how much the sport has changed since then. And I wanted to look at like some big. So there was 10 things in their article. I picked 5. Like I said, I had to limit myself. It's like
because every single one they posted was good. Like you
was very good. Yeah. So I had to pick some that I was like, okay, this is good to talk about. I had to limit myself. So we'll start. Keep it with the man himself, Lewis Hamilton. In 2015, Lewis Hamilton became a 3-time world champion. At the time, he joined an elite club with 9 other drivers who pulled off the 3 world championships. And he was the first Briton person, native, whatever the terminology is, to do that since 1973.
That's the crazier stat, I feel like.
Right. That's insane, especially because of how big Formula One is as a British sport and everything.
Yeah.
Why? The part that I was thinking about it, because I wanted to put like my own spin on like all of these. I'm gonna read this word for word because I like was cracking up as I was writing it, and this is crazy when you think about it, because I'm sure everyone watching Lewis win 3 in a row is thinking, "Holy shit, it can't get better than this," and then it gets better than it 4, arguably 5 more times in a row.
Yeah.
The man wins 3, and people are like, "Holy shit, Lewis is at the peak of his career. There's no possible way he can do it again." And then he doesn't 4 more times.
And not to bring up the other one, but we've watched Lewis win 4, 5 world titles since 2015. We've also watched Max Verstappen win 3.
Right.
In the past 10 years. Like, that's crazy.
It's insane. It's wild that he did it.
Yeah.
And he looks so young in the photos too.
Yeah.
Like so much younger than he does now.
And Mercedes should bring back that white race suit. It's so nice.
Bring it back, man. Well, they did bring it back this year, actually. They brought
but
it back
like full time.
Yeah, I did really enjoy the white race suit. A lot of people didn't like it, but I loved it. I thought it looked so clean. It's so sleek too. So I agree. Bring it back. Where Lewis had won his 3rd World Constructor Championships was the United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas, which just happened to be getting battered by Hurricane Patricia at the same time. This was one of the worst storms on record, like to that date. And qualifying ended up being run Sunday morning before the race. Teams ended up filling the time by playing games. I saw Red Bull doing like bowling with Red Bull cans. Dancing, Daniel Kvyat and Daniel Ricciardo were dancing together. They were doing like a little romantic dance.
Makes sense.
Sauber even made a wheeled canoe to help pass the time. So there's 2 things that I saw. Sauber did a canoe. So you see 4 of them on just like a little cart, and they all have whatever, and they're just trying to row. There was another team, I didn't see who it was, were doing like a bobsled like bit because they were running and pushing something, and then one of the mechanics was trying to jump into it, and he just like wasn't able to do it. So it was pretty funny. But yeah, so I thought it was, obviously we've seen this, I believe it was this year when we had qualifying on the morning of the race. It's a really intense situation, and it like throws off the drivers like so much in terms of their preparation and the team's preparation and all that. But it is funny to think about it that it's 10 years. We saw kind of the same exact thing where it was qualifying was the morning of the race. And it was just an all around like crappy situation that Formula One just handled as best they could. For our 3rd topic, this one I also find kind of funny. The 2016 race calendar was revealed. And
it was Brazil. Sorry. I was like, what race was qualifying in the morning?
Yeah.
Brazil. I couldn't remember.
The 2016 calendar was revealed, obviously, in 2015 for the season prior. And by our standards today, it's pretty normal. But back then, people were like, what the fuck is this? Like, they were freaking out. there was 21 races, and there were 6 back-to-back weekends. For comparison, we have 24 races now in a season.
Yeah.
And this upcoming year in the 2025 season, we have 10 back-to-back weekends.
I would say there are a lot of back-to-back.
Yeah, it's a lot of back-to-back weekends. There's 2 triple headers. There is a ton of just one race right to the next. So that's why I said it's kind of funny because, like, back then they're like, what do you mean 6 back-to-backs? Like, what the hell? And now it's, 10? Okay. 10 and 2 of them are triple headers? Like,
well, now it's like if we don't have a back-to-back, we're like, what the hell are we supposed to do
Yeah,
for this
what the
week?
fuck?
There's no race.
what the hell? My Saturdays and Sundays are so boring now.
I have to make plans? Okay.
Ugh. I just thought that was funny, just because obviously we had all the gripe too with this year about F1 wanting to add more races, even more onto the 24. Drivers are coming out and saying, no way, that's way too many. So just thought it was a funny bit. In 2015, in preseason testing, actually, I want to pull up a picture of this because I feel like it's the best way that I can describe
Are you
it.
going to share your screen?
Yes. Let me just pull up. I'm trying to think. Let's see.
Red Bull.
Yeah, here we go. So Red Bull in 2015 dropped this livery as a part of their preseason testing. At the stage. There we go. Boom.
Oh.
So it was dubbed the Camo livery. And I personally, I love the look of this. I think it's probably because we're 100% in, like, fully in the era of black carbon fiber. And that's just the color of the cars, just give or take a few. So seeing a design like this radical and this out of nowhere is great, and I love it.
And that's wild for Red Bull.
Yeah. So the unfortunate part about this is it did not last to the season. It was for preseason only. But God, Red Bull, bring this back. I also, in part with this, bring back the white Red Bull liveries. Those white Red Bull cars are so good. They're so clean, so sleek, so different too than what we've seen. I think that's why I like Haas liveries so much sometimes, is because they have those white components to it and it looks so good.
It's not like too much.
No, it's not too much, but what I would give to see an all white livery. Like I said, when Ferrari was teasing the white for Las Vegas, I was like, give us an all white livery where white is the primary color. You have the red accent marks. Oh, it's gonna look so good. It's gonna look so good. Nobody did it. Cowards. But yes.
Well, I think this year, because if you all the Ferraris posts, I think I said this last week, it's red and then there's a lot of white throughout it as well.
I know.
So,
I would love it. I would love it. Finally, my last bit. It's a little bit more on a somber note, but obviously in 2015 we lost Jules Bianchi. It's weird to me. Obviously we weren't watching the sport at the time, but it's insane to me that it's been 10 years just because of how much like Jules is still talked about and brought up and is relevant to the conversation of Formula One. And it's crazy to think that everything Charles Leclerc does behind the wheel of his car is for Jules, and also, partly also for his father as well, but like is for Jules Bianchi. So it's great to see his memory live on and everything. And I would not be shocked if maybe there's like a 10-year commemoration for Jules and I'm
sure.
So I wanted to at least bring that up because obviously, like I said, a little bit somber, definitely, horrible that we lost him and everything and that you lose anybody, but it's coming up on 10 years, which is just, like I said, even though we weren't watching the sport, he's still so talked about and everything that his presence and his effect on the sport is known.
He's like the reason there's the halo on the cars. Yeah. It is. I mean, and also like people always say it, but he probably would have went to Ferrari.
Yeah, 100. I 100% agree.
I know that when Charles obviously moves up and gets to Ferrari, it's just everything that Charles does is for when he wins or when he's in that car is for his father for sure and for for Jules. But yeah, it is wild to think that it's 10 years. I'm sure because when the accident was in Japan, I
Yeah.
think, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it was the 2014 Japanese Grand Prix, and then he died in July of 2015.
July. Yeah, so I don't. Maybe they'll do. Maybe it'll be like not the date of the accident, but it'll be the date of the death. Like,
Yeah.
to do something. I wonder what. Well, it's Silverstone, Spa, Zandvoort, Hungary. I think there's.
No, that's 4 races in July? No.
It's Silverstone.
Yeah.
Oh, there's technically only 2. Silverstone is the first weekend, and then it's Spa on July 25th through the 27th. So I can see it maybe being there because then it's right. Well, there's one more race, and then it's the summer break. But
Right.
yeah, it is wild. It is wild to think that it'll be 10 years. Well, and like his dad's, so they have obviously the association and his name. So I would not be surprised if like his whole family comes. If they did something
I
like
would
that.
not be shocked.
Yeah, I mean they do that. Is it 24 hours or is it longer? Yeah, 24-hour karting like marathon they do over at
it is.
What's it called? Where do they do it? What's the track in France?
Le Mans?
No, the F1 track in France. They don't go there anymore, but there's like a karting track there. I'm blanking on the name.
But
that's where they have it. But yeah, I would not be surprised. But yeah, it is wild that it's been 10 years.
Yeah, like I said, it's weird. Again, kind of being the broken record here, but we weren't watching the sport at the time, so obviously hearing about and learning about his death hits us differently than anybody watching it live, or watching it at the time and everything. But his presence is still very much known in the sport. So it's like even joining and watching the sport when we did, it was almost like we instantly knew who Jules Bianchi was. We knew what his relation to Charles and everything was and his impact on the sport. So, yeah.
Well, and it's like when you...
It's been 10 years.
Sometimes, like, there's some pictures where, like, Charles and him look so much alike.
Yeah.
Where is that photo? It was not that long ago. F1 posted a picture of the rookies. I don't know if it was from 2015. Our friends at the midfield group posted it, so that's what I'm trying to pull it up.
While you look for that, that was all I had for my 5 points for the season of 2015 and obviously how different the sport is now. Like I said, the wildest part to me is the Lewis 3-time world champ goes on to be 7-time world champ thing. But it's
sometimes we say 8.
That's why I said he did it 4, arguably 5 more times. So
yeah,
I can see it. I also go ahead.
No, go ahead. I have found the picture.
I just jumping off of what we were saying earlier with like Lewis at Ferrari and the whole 7 windows and a door thing. If that man wins World Drivers' Championship this year, Italy is going to burn down.
Italy, if either one of them win,
yeah,
and if they have a shot at the constructors, yeah, Italy's burning down. Italy will literally explode from excitement.
It's going to be like a consistent 72 hours, probably more, of just partying.
Yeah. But yes, so that was good. So the picture came up. F1 posted it yesterday on Twitter and Threads and stuff. So it says the last time we had 5 rookies joining the grid full time was 2013.
Wow.
And that's when Jules was a rookie. And there's one other famous name that was a rookie that year as well, in Valtteri Bottas. So
Mr. Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah. But yes, that was history with Owen. I guess brought to you by BoxBox, since there's no other.
Yes, brought to you by BoxBox. Love working with them. Like I said, I talk about them too much all the time, so I'll keep it short and simple. If you use code UNDERGROUND30, again, spelled exactly the way the show is named. Sorry. Yeah,
exact
way. UNDERGROUND30 on the iOS App Store. You will get 30% off the first year of your Ultra subscription. Please Go follow them. Even if you don't want to do the subscription, it's a fantastic free app. I love it. I was so happy to talk to them and learn more. And they're working on so many cool things too.
Yeah.
So exciting. But yes, thank you, BoxBox. Love you. We're having a blast. We hope you guys enjoy us as much as we enjoy being working with you guys. But yes.
Before we move on to F1 Threads Mailbag, I do want to bring up, because it's very short, F1 Threads Mailbag. It is technically race weekend. It is race week. There's the Daytona, 24 Daytona this weekend. IMSA. We have an endurance race this weekend down in Florida. So that will be fun to watch. There are some names.
We have Motorsports this weekend.
Yes, there are some names that everyone knows and loves that are driving. Kevin Magnussen is one of them. He will be driving. Let me look back. Arthur Leclerc will also be driving in one of the Ferrari IMSA cars. Felipe Drugovich, Frederick Vesey will be driving.
Felipe.
Yes, let me see. Scott Dixon, Tom Bloomquist, Felix Rosenquist. That's 3 right there from IndyCar.
Yep.
Daniel Kvyat will be driving. Romain Grosjean will be driving.
A lot of names.
There's 3 to 4 in every single car.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is lots. Colton Herta is driving. God, I'll tease you that one. So yes, there are a lot of drivers driving this weekend. But yes, it is race week. So happy race week, everyone.
Happy race week, everyone. I'm sure with how much Tasia loves Colton Herta, she knows that
she probably knows.
Yeah.
Kyle Kirkwood's driving. James Hinchcliffe is driving. There is a ton of people driving this weekend coming up that we all know. So definitely, hopefully, I'm definitely gonna try and check that out. Make sure I figure out how I can watch it. But yes, F1 Threads Mailbag, as we said, is very short. There's 2 questions, but it is brought to you by the wonderful people over at Furious Motorsport. I am in my Charles Leclerc Ferrari jersey.
Yes.
But as always, shop from the link in our bio. You get 10% off your entire purchase. But you've seen me wear this one multiple times. You've seen Owen wear his Lando jersey. He has the Red Bull MaxVerstappen baseball jersey. I have a Charles baseball jersey. They already have a Ferrari Lewis baseball jersey. I might need to get it. Yeah, they've had it for a while. They did it last year. They got it. It looks like this. It's red, and it has 44 and Hamilton on the back. So I may have to get that one. That might be my Lewis merch that I need to get.
That I did not know they had Lewis stuff already.
Yeah, they've had that one for a while. I think they dropped it halfway through the season last year because obviously we knew the news. So
it makes sense.
But yeah. So definitely go check that out and use our coupon code Underground 10 or shop from the link in the bio and get 10% off. Did you find it?
I did find it. It's nice.
Yeah. F1 Threads Mailbag. Do you want me? I'll do the question for myself first. This one's just related to me.
Yeah, because I guess nobody wants to ask me a question.
No, I mean, I can ask you if you have a favorite piece from this weekend.
A favorite what?
Piece from this weekend. That's what the question is. So this question is from Chris. He has plenty of questions before. I think his question, the best question we ever got from him was when he said, was Owen more excited?
Oh, that was a good one.
That was a good question. So yes, his question is specifically for me, and it's not F1 related at all. But I'm sure if you follow me personally, you would have seen it was college dance team nationals this past weekend in Florida. I grew up dancing. They're so much fun to watch because it's you can't watch UDA nationals and not say dance is a sport. Watching them is intense. So yes, and because their fingertip is even in sync with everyone else. That's how in sync they are.
How dialed in they are.
Yeah, his question is, who was your favorite performance during UDA nationals? Now this is very hard because I could probably list off 12 because they're so good.
Putting you on the hot seat here.
I know. Okay, so I actually could probably give one from each category. Because there's hip hop, pom, and jazz, which was the main ones. There's game day, but game day wasn't really dancing. So the pom, University of Minnesota, killed it. If you watch their pom routine, I posted on my Instagram story. They do their turn section, and the music dies down, and all you hear is a heartbeat, and they're in sync perfectly.
Oh, they hitting it?
Yeah, and the music right before says, and like there's power in silence, and they start the turn section, and then it goes, and all you hear is the crowd cheering, and then it
That's
comes
awesome.
back together. I'll just show you the clip because this is so good. Jazz, I loved. Ohio State won, which, first of all, Ohio State cheerleaders and dance team won nationals. They did like their whole game day together, so they were national champs there. Ohio State won Jazz late Sunday night. Get on the plane the next morning, go to the college football playoffs, and then Ohio State wins college football
against
playoffs.
Notre Dame.
So
yeah,
great weekend for Ohio State.
That university's probably burned to the ground.
Mm-hmm. They might have had the day off. They probably got the
Yeah.
day off because there was so much success for them. What's it called? Okay, Jazz. Penn State Jazz was so good. It was To Somebody to Love. That one was really good. But I loved University of Tennessee. It was to Bittersweet Symphony, but like the mix from The Crown. So it was beautiful.
Oh, okay. I've heard that mix before. That's a good take
it was
on
like,
the song. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like theatrical. And then hip hop. Well, LSU hip hop is always like the one that goes viral. It's so good. This year was good, but they danced with umbrellas, and it just like umbrellas are hard prop to dance with. But I'll say that they're my favorite. But yeah, they're my favorite pieces. But that's literally all I did. And I like paid for the subscription because you have to pay for it to watch it. So I had it up like all weekend. And then Sunday night was the final. So I had the Eagles game on my TV and then the UDA Nationals on my computer.
Smart.
And it was like getting down to the wire, but like the top two teams for Jazz were coming up, and I was like, I don't know what to watch. But yes, okay, that was me going off. Someone asked this past week, they're like, what underground UDA podcast when? I said, don't tempt me. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Look at that.
Now to the real F1 question. This is from Tanya. We love Tanya. She's a fellow Eagles fan, so we love Tanya. What's the one storyline that will surprise us all next season in F1? This is a great question. And I kind of have one. I kind of mentioned it before at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, wait. I know what you're going to say then. Because I was just thinking the same thing. Fuck. Go ahead.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
I think Esteban Ocon is going to surprise us.
Yeah,
I think Esteban Ocon will surprise us. I think Ollie will surprise us, even though he's already surprised us to begin with. And I think Haas as a whole will be the top midfield team. Like how Aston this year was like so far ahead from the midfield teams. I think that's what Haas will be. So that would be maybe my number one. I could try to think of something else, but
all right, I have one.
Okay.
I think it's gonna sound like it's not a surprise, but I'll explain why I think it will be. I think Kimi Antonelli is going to live up to the hype, and he's going to win a race this year.
Before George?
Before George. The only reason I'm saying that that's going to be a surprise is because the man's been hyped up so much, and respectfully so, he's a great driver, but he's a rookie going into his rookie season, and it's really hard to perform as a rookie. So if he does it and he pulls out like all the stops and he wins a race in his rookie season, that'll be my surprise storyline. That's what I'm going with.
I like it. We didn't go with our usual faves. I kind of like that.
No, well, I can't really. Well, because I think like it's hard because Ferrari is expected to do very well this year.
So is McLaren.
Yeah, so is McLaren. You could say that a surprise storyline will be like maybe a little bit of downfall from Red Bull, but we just kind of saw that this past year. So I think people have kind of come down from the whole Red Bull is untouchable kind of cloud. So it's like what is going to be a true surprise? And that's why I thought a rookie doing something insane. And I think that rookie will be Kimi Antonelli.
No, I do like that's a good one, but I can also see him winning before George.
Yeah.
And then we'll hear George will be throwing a fit.
Oh, George will be losing his mind.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a good question. I feel like that could be a whole episode. We could keep going with different topics.
You could come up with at least like three or five. Like
maybe we save that question next week for our guest if he comes on. We ask him.
That's a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
We will. We'll bring that question back.
Yeah, we're bringing that question back.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you would like to add? That's pretty much
I have nothing. It was a little bit, like we said, a little bit of a shorter episode, but a good one.
Almost at an hour.
Lot of Lewis news, which
Yeah.
is fine.
This is a very Lewis heavy episode, but it makes sense for what's going. There's literally nothing else besides the Haas news from this morning. There's literally nothing else going on in the F1 world this week. So drivers are just making their way back for sim racing. We're gonna start seeing drivers doing like some testing with old cars. So we're getting there, people. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Slowly but surely, it's coming back very quickly. But yes, I will close us out. Thank you for joining us for episode 90. What do we say?
93
of I almost said F1 of Underground Circuit.
I'm shocked it hasn't happened already.
I know. Underground Circuit, like you said, we'll be back next week. We just teased we do hopefully have a guest joining us. He's a friend of the show. You've all seen him on here plenty of times. So
we will know. They'll know who it is.
You know who it is at this exact moment. Yes, we'll be back. We'll gonna probably maybe talk some IndyCar news next week, hopefully. We'll ask him that great question that we just got from Tanya. But yeah, thank you so much. Please give us a follow on Instagram and Threads at underground_circuit. Again, there's no vowels. It's only the leading U. And then over on Twitter or X at UGCircuitPod. TikTok is here and alive, so please go follow us on TikTok. I need to add that to the scrolly. It is alive and well, so please go follow there. Like, comment, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts from. Our YouTube is up and running as well. I'll add that this coming up too, so they'll all be in there.
A lot of new changes.
You can find all our socials over at the link tree in all our social bios. But thank you so much. We will see you all next week. And have a great week, people.
Peace out. See you later, guys.
Stay warm if you're freezing like the rest of us.
Yes.